Welcome to the Shiny Headed Historian. I'm your host, Mr. J, and today we're going to dive into a fascinating topic: the characteristics of the indigenous cultures of the Americas before the Europeans arrived. We'll explore the theories of how people first settled in America and how geography and climate shaped their culture. Ready to learn some amazing history? Let's get started. And first up, let's talk about how the first people came to the Americas in the first place. There are a few main theories about this. One popular theory is called the Landbridge Theory. This theory suggests that people migrated to Asia from North America over a land bridge called Beringia. Imagine a bridge made of ice and land that connected what is now Siberia in Asia with Alaska in North America. This bridge existed during the Ice Age, when sea levels were much lower. So, these early people could walk across the bridge to the Americas. Another theory, the coastal route theory. According to this idea, people traveled by boat along the coast of the Americas. They might have used simple rafts or boats to follow the shoreline from Asia into North America and South America. This would have been a bit like taking a scenic route along the ocean. Now that we know how people might have arrived, let's explore how geography and climate influence the cultures of indigenous peoples. Geography is all about the features of the land, like the mountains, the rivers, and the forests. These features greatly influenced how people lived. For example, in the northeast part of North America, tribes like the Iroquois lived in areas with lots of green trees and rivers. They built long houses and used the forest for hunting and gathering. Where, in the southwest, the Hopi and Navajo lived in desert areas with very little rain. They built adobe brick houses and used irrigation systems to make the most of the scarce water. Climate, or the weather conditions over a long period, also played a big role. In the Great Plains, where it was flat, and they had a moderate climate, which is not too hot, not too cold, tribes like the Sioux followed bison. They lived in portable teepees made from bison hides, which made it easier to move around with the herds. Whereas in the Pacific Northwest, where it was rainy and they had lots of forests, tribes like the Haida built large wooden houses and created art from the abundant trees and fish. Each indigenous culture developed its own unique way of life that's suited to their environment. Let's look at some of the common features. Housing. As we mentioned, housing was varied widely. Longhouses, teepees, adobe houses, and even cliff dwellings were all adapted to local environments. Food. Their diets were based on what was available. For instance, people in the Northeast had a diet rich in fish, game, and gathered plants, while those in the Southwest relied heavily on crops that they grew. Art and religion. Art and religion were deeply connected to nature. Many tribes created art and ceremonies that honored the natural world and their ancestors. Social organizations also varied. Some cultures had complex systems of leadership and community, while others had simpler, more egalitarian structures. Which is to say, they believed that everybody was equal and everybody should have an equal say in rights and opportunities within the government and the structure of society. So, to wrap it up, indigenous cultures in the Americas were incredibly diverse and adapted to their unique environments. Theories of how they arrived, whether by land or sea, show us the incredible journeys they undertook, and their rich cultures, shaped by the geography and climate, remind us of the deep connection between people and their land. Thanks for tuning in to the Shiny Headed Historian. I hope you enjoyed learning about the early inhabitants of the Americas and their amazing cultures. Join us next time for more shiny facts and historical adventures. Until then, keep exploring, stay curious. Goodbye for now, and keep shining bright.